Welcome to the new and improved LuxAlgo stream. My name is Jacob. We got our boy Mickey here. Say what's up.
Good morning, good afternoon. How's everyone doing?
Beautiful. Yeah, so lot to talk about, lot to go over. And yeah, we hope you enjoy the new style of the stream. I need to refresh my chat here. I don't see any of you guys talking. There we go.
Sure.
Where's everybody from today? Let's see the craziest place somebody's from today. Earlier this week we had somebody from Paris, which I'm still trying to believe that. That would be cool. That'd be very cool, but still trying to believe it.
Hello, welcome everyone.
Let's see. Estonia.
New York.
That'd be pretty awesome. Cool.
London, Florida.
London. Paris. Got another guy from Paris. Cool.
Tijuana.
Cool. India. Yep. We know there's some people from India in here. New York, London, beautiful Peru. Welcome. Got a nice little move here on ES today. Iraq, Croatia, Toronto, Pakistan, Netherlands.
Awesome.
Incredible. But yeah, got a nice little move here on ES today. We're kind of rebounding from that sell-off with CPI yesterday. We're going to look now at our new little widget here, what we got going on in Forex, crypto, and stocks, as you can see on the bottom right. Euro's down a little bit. The yen is pretty flat. The pound down a bit as well. Australian dollar a little bit in profit. And then the winner today is the Swiss franc for sure. Up about 0.5% there. Let's see that chart today. Nice little uptick we got going on. But take a look at crypto as well. I got Bitcoin up 1.5% this morning. Ethereum up 1.7%, kind of outperforming just a tad. XRP's been having a great year. Had that lovely spike this summer. That was an awesome spike. But let's see over on the stocks as well. I got any rush today. Of course, Tesla hitting the top ranks. Meta 2% today. And Tesla's looks like it wants to run for that all-time high once again. But yeah, great little moves today at the end of the week with that CPI yesterday on the U.S. market, and we had ECB rates from the UK, and we're looking not too bad.
Everything's pumping.
Everything is pumping. I mean, I'll turn up my volume a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy because I get a little excited. But yeah, so ESA, what I've gone over 1 trillion times for you guys is for the intraday chart, the 15-minute nice setup off the smart trail, a nice trend move. Let's see, is it possible? Can you show us your indicator settings? Yes, I will. What I like to call am the default legend, or whatever you want to call it. The default guy. So a lot of times I am using default settings. The only thing I do adjust is the signal sensitivity here on the signals and overlays. So that is set to 15 here on optimized sensitivity on the dashboard. So I set that to 15. But 15-minute here on ES, we have the bearish divergence that happened. But the oscillator did reset and bounce off that smart trail at open today. Had a very lovely move to the upside. We're looking at off the smart trail. We're looking at about 0.5% there, 25 points. Wow, what a move. But let's take a look at some other assets to kind of go over what's going on. I know you guys love your gold.
Tried and true. Gold is king.
Gold is king, right? Yeah, exactly. So currently in some consolidation on the 15-minute, we're looking at, the crazy thing about gold and Bitcoin is, for one, let me reset this optimized sensitivity for us. Hey, what's the chat on the right hand? You don't mind me asking that. This is a widget from profit.com. Pretty cool. So we can look over, look over the overall analysis of the market, some news. We got the consumer price index today on Forex as well. But looking at gold charts at the moment, we need to, let me get rid of this trading buy and sell button. We need to look into, we're in a consolidated period, right? It's like this is typically what, you see on Bitcoin and gold. You get that consolidation before a big move. So it's kind of waiting for that big move to happen. We are falling back into this possible smart trail. In my opinion, for gold here to have a decent move, we would want to bounce off that smart trail and then flip into some bullish candles, something it's maybe more of a, get a nice bullish signal, or just a bullish signal in general. That's just a normal signal like this, retracement to set up for a trend. But overall, it hasn't really gone anywhere for a while now, really since July. So it has been trending quite a bit, it has been ranging quite a bit. So those of you that have been trading this range, great job, because you definitely had many opportunities off the highs and lows to even hit that. So one thing I did want to look at is the Bitcoin daily, and we discussed this on Tuesday about this order block, right? This 28% order block that we discussed is now confirmed. This thing is ready to possibly run off this level. 25K makes sense, 25,000 is a pretty psychological level there. So Bitcoin as of now, I would suggest an upper target of where this order block is sitting of 27,670 is about the middle of that order block. But anywhere above that 27,000 on Bitcoin looks as if it could hit. So depending on the current news that's coming out, this week's been pretty news heavy. So that is definitely being driven by some of it. So is it going to come back into consolidation? I don't know, but recently the volume has been really good on it, which we like to see. As you can see here, fantastic example of a way to use these order blocks when going into a possible trend like we had for the 15-minute there. We've talked about this a million times. I like to look for break of structures, then change of characters. If you get multiple change of characters, it's more of a ranging market. But if you can see that there's been a clear few times that you've seen break of structure, in this case off the price action concepts indicator, we had two in a row and then a change of character, and then we've hit this big uptrend. That there was the first indication of a nice change in direction, right? So the oscillator kind of confirms that as well. We had a downtrend that flipped to this uptrend with that change of character, money flow increasing on the oscillator and the concept price action concepts. This is all default settings for those of you asking. Yes, I like using default, but of course we will touch on some other settings that we look at when we don't know what else to use for analysis. If we don't see anything we like. But yes, so Bitcoin here, remember we said 27K would probably be our next target. We have somewhat of a bull flag in a way here. It's not fully formed, but it could be at some point. We need another low probably set for a continuation. But what I really, really like is the fact that the money flow is staying bullish on Bitcoin here. And now the oscillator is reset under that 50 level. So me seeing that is a sign of trend continuation. We are currently showing support over previous highs. We have a swing structure, break of structure here. So overall, this is super solid. I would want to see a stronger setup, maybe some volume come in to kind of to confirm this. As you can see here, on the signals and overlays chart, we finally are seeing a smart trail that is not just dead sideways, right? The smart trail right now that we've been seeing even in this uptrend have been pretty sideways, other than like right here. But even an upwards bearish smart trail doesn't make sense. Why would I trade during an upwards bearish smart trail? That means price isn't really ready to go to the downside yet. We flipped here. Still flat, but now we're seeing that upturn on the smart trail. So if we could hold that smart trail, I bet you we see that move into the higher time frame order block, which is now the daily chart that we talked about here, right into the 27,000 to 28,000 range. So that was when we had that big news spike when we bounced off this order block before. So let's see if we get that move as well off of the order block again. So seeing that though, we could potentially, we bounce here, we could potentially have a reject off that, 27, 28,000. If we get up there again, have that reject, then break this order block, because clearly this order block is significant, but it's been hit so many times. So it's like, man, is this thing worth, hitting and trading again? It could be, but more than likely it coming to retest that for a third or fourth time is not going to go well. So then you would target, a lower order block and do the exact same thing over again. So on Bitcoin for now, we're looking high 20,000s and then possibly a retracement to break this order block, depending if it doesn't just blow through that upper order block. But you can see even on here, signals and overlays still sitting sideways, and we did reject the smart trail, but it's just one of those periods on Bitcoin where you're just back and forth. It's just part of it. You have to wait it out sometimes. I was going to put on the, I'm not even worried about it. Let's take a look over at some Forex of the Euro USD. This one's been trending very nicely on the daily chart. So identifying that trend, we can go into a lower time frame like the 15-minute. And my goodness, with that news over there in the UK, and their FOMC type news, as Mickey likes to call it, FOMC over there for their ECB. What did you get a read on what they said? Obviously, didn't seem that good, or
when it was released, it's just like FOMC.
Right,
it doesn't matter.
Very volatile.
It's going up and it's going down.
Yep.
So
I feel you. Okay.
It pushed the dollar hard.
There you go.
It pushed the dollar hard, to the moon.
There it is.
The ES future stayed flat, right?
Right.
But it's pushing the Forex pairs all over the place.
Yes. Yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, let's go. Wow, the dollar is cranking today. So you would think ES would be opposite, right? But it's not. It's just like, let's see it. Let's see if we can follow today. But
today is weird. Yeah, today was weird. You would think the ES would go the opposite way, right? In theory, correct. But today in the US, we have a major news IPO release. The ARM. That is the number one. That is the number one factor pushing the markets today in the US, regardless of ECB or whatnot. We're thinking selfish right now. The people on the street in New York is thinking selfish. We have a huge, one of the biggest IPOs ever, they said, and it's pushing the Dow and everything else along with it.
Heck yeah, for sure. Well, has it IPO'd yet, or it's probably still? It might be soon. Usually they hit midday.
Yeah, IPO is released. Us common folks, we have to wait, right? We gotta wait.
No, it's open now, actually.
Yeah.
So it opened up at roughly $56, and it's already up. What we got?
Look at that pump.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So because this is an IPO, there's no data for the indicator to collect on. So you're not going to really see any returns on that.
Go down to a 1. Let's see what a 1 minute looks like.
But yeah, the 1 minute out of open, man, it'd probably just, incredible. Yeah, that first initial move of 10%. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Insane. But I mean, this is well priced asset here. Definitely something to keep an eye on, especially like you said, it has huge effects in the market recently. A lot of people have been talking about it. So ARM Holdings, go check it out. But let's go back over to the Euro, because we do have that sell-off that was pretty aggressive. And that's the wrong Euro USD. Had a huge sell-off. This very aggressive here. Let's look at some opportunities that could have been taken on this sell-off, and identifying when is a proper time to take a trade, if it's trending or not. and we always look for trend trades, right? So that's our main goal. So wait for the trend. And I'm not a huge Forex trader, but with anything that's similar to FOMC, it's going to be pretty volatile at first, and then if you have the right risk management, you can execute some trades after the news because the volume is there. So seeing first off the oscillator flipping, going from overbought to oversold pretty aggressively because of that volatility. It is flipping into a downwards trend, right? Because it originally was overbought. So why not see if you get that retracement like we've talked about a million times? And we did roughly here after that bearish signal, but there's your bearish break of structure. And based on these price movements, nothing here is really flagged, I want to take a short. If there was an opportunity to take a short, I would say it would be right here on this strong bearish signal. Obviously, going into this, bearish. This sell-off, bearish. I would never trade against what I'm seeing. And that's because the smart trail is the first indication that, smart trail is a trend following tool, right? That's in the signals and overlays indicator. That is a trend following tool. Why would I want to fight a trend following tool? There's no reason for me to look long when a smart trail is bearish. So I'm never, ever, even if the market structure is saying, there's a bullish change of character, it doesn't line up, I'm not taking it. So this is the first thing I look at, is that smart trail. Smart trail is bearish, right? If there was an opportunity to be taken here, it would have been on this signal, and that is because you had that bearish smart trail, bearish break of structure, you had that bullish change of character with a bullish signal, but guess what? You still have a bearish smart trail in the downtrend formation. So getting this change of character here with this bearish signal. Also, do you see the money flow? Do you see the difference? Is there really buy volume coming into this? Absolutely not. Is there really sell volume coming into this? Absolutely. That there is way more significant than this buy volume that just decided to peek its little head. There's no reason to be taking a buy position at these lows when you see the money flow that low. No reason. That's the biggest thing about this oscillator is like, man, I'm sick. I'm so sorry about the coughs, but I need to keep my water around me. But again, seeing that difference there in correlation, huge. Now, if it was something like this where you had big buy volume like that, sure. But again, that's not how it was right here. So we were flipping, huge increase on this low here. Got a little bit of retracement, but it held its own. Very super extended there. And the oscillator reset, you had a turning point, bearish turning point with a bearish change character, with a bearish signal. You could have had that trade right there. That's the only time I would have taken the trade, if it was even worth it. But yes, that was the only time that would be worth taking it, in my opinion.
That's the setup right there. That's the setup.
Yeah, waiting for the right setup is the key. But again, this is very heavy news, very volatile price action. So in my opinion, don't even trade it. I wouldn't trade it. Jensen Sin asks, how do I get this indicator? Well, what you can do is you might have seen the pop-up a few times. You can go to LuxAlgo.com, get 30% off right now. Use code LUX30, as well as 30 days risk-free. If you want to use this suite that you see on the screen, you can see at the top of the page right now the indicators that are being shown is price action concepts, signals and overlays, and oscillator matrix. But let's head over to gold, like everybody's been asking. And for some reason, I have some type of problem with typing in gold. Like it's because I'm on the Forex pit. That's why. I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't pop up on there either. Because I guess it's commodity.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
We have a question. I think it's a common question that they wanted to ask you. When you're flipping through symbols and pairs, do you keep the same signal sensitivity throughout, or you kind of adjust it a little bit depending on what you're watching?
So I adjust it per time frame. So like I'm a U.S. market trader. I'll sometimes trade gold. So like in my opinion, you want to understand what asset you're trading at all times. Because if you understand that asset, then you know how it trades, you know the proper risk to reward to hit, and you can then understand a good entry and what sensitivities work. So So I don't have to switch my sensitivity very much because I trade only one asset. But what I do is I go to, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. But on the signals and overlays specifically, let's make the dashboard large so you can see it. Every single time I come in here, I switch to the optimal sensitivity. So I double click on here to open up the settings, and I change it to what we see here, 13. So that's the first thing that I do to make sure my signals are optimized. Now, excuse me. Notice in the analysis of gold right now in the 5-minute, we have a trend strength of bearish 46%. It's like, why would I ever want to trade when a trend is 46%? That's
chopping.
That's not, it's chopping, exactly. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but have you ever seen choppy water before? You ever been to the ocean or a lake? I mean, you can see right here. Does that not look like a wave formation? Like, yeah, it's setting up perfectly for an example. It's like, I don't see this often actually, but there you go. You got a wave forming. Well, there's no reason to trade it during this. So that wave there, this straight line, that wave there, it's like absolutely no reason. And the reason behind it probably being like this is because of the news that came out today. So why would I want to trade if the probability of it being like this is a lot higher than like having an actual trend day? So yeah, Alex Grover, I like waves and greyhounds. Amazing. Our main man Alex over there. But again here, look at these signals flipping back and forth. These signals are here to help you get to that next stage of analysis of where the stock might be going. But seeing signals flip straight smart trails, there's absolutely no way I'm touching this thing. Yeah. So gold here, 5-minute, absolutely not. Let's take a look at higher time frames though. 15-minute, still similar situation. Trend strength's 12%. Who in their right mind wants to trade a 12% trend? Not me. I'm not trading that. So again, I wouldn't trade that even on the 15-minute. Now, if you're a range trader, man, I need to go to the doctor or something. If you're a range trader, maybe you want to use something like, and again, we'll go over this saying 75% because again, this is flipping to possibly a bullish move if we break that smart trail. But trend strength overall is 75%. Now this correlates, by the way, those colors are correlating with the signal. So in this case, we have to change our sensitivity to 18, right? Because the optimized sensitivity is 18. So let's see here. As we change to 18, boom, changes to red. That's why you optimize your sensitivity. It's because we're in a bearish trend. I don't want to look over there and see green because my sensitivity isn't optimized. But again, bearish trend here now on gold on the 1 hour. So we're rejecting currently, right? We're rejecting. So strong bearish signal. I'm currently rejecting. And if you want to double check on the rejection, you can see it there. The other thing you can do for those of you that, if you like seeing the candle, knowing which candle is which, I mean, after a while, you'll identify it as which is bullish and which is bearish. But if you do like seeing, you can turn on the ugly borders and you can see it. So now I know the green outline is green or is bullish and red outline is bearish. But again, 75% strength here and we're rejecting. Money flow has been strong. Oscillator is reset. Oscillator is up above the 50 level. So this could indicate a possible downward move again. The only thing I don't like is the fact that we have well, that's huge. Let's go back to this guy. We have the oscillator increasing, right? The oscillator lows are increasing, but the money flow is still strong. What were you going to say there, Mickey?
Now, give me a turning point down.
Right.
If I can
Yes.
get a turning point down, you may say this could be a wedge. You drew that line up. Take a look at the upper part.
Yep. Yeah, this could be a hidden divergence as well.
Yeah. So you could be forming a wedge, a symmetrical wedge here on the turning point.
Right. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, so you could be forming that wedge as well. But again, the biggest thing, if I'm a new trader and I don't see that, like Mickey does, who's been trading forever.
Look at that.
Then what I look for is that turning point, like Mickey said, but this money flow staying hot. I want to see that red bearish money flow staying hot, and then a nice turning point. So getting that might indicate a nice sell position on the 1 hour. So again, looking back on these time frames, I know now that we are looking to the downside if we were to take a trade. I'm going to take off them ugly borders again. But let's take a look now at the NASDAQ. Let's see how it's doing today. And it's doing pretty well. First thing we do, change that to optimize sensitivity to 14. For the 1 hour, trend strength is not even a full 1%, right? So I'm like, if I'm going long-term trade, absolutely not. Not taking it. 15 minute though. Let's bring it back down. See, we're starting to increase that trend strength there. We move this to 17, and we look at the 15 minute. Choppy, choppy, choppy. But guess what? Here it's not choppy, right? It broke out of that range. We see, what do we see the difference here? We have the smart trail going up on this one, and here we have smart trails going sideways. Smart trails going sideways. You have flipping signals. I'm not going to take a trade during here, but seeing this now, I'm like, maybe there is an opportunity for a trade. Let's pull on the price action concepts. Price action concepts showing us that, you know, there's some order blocks down here. And do we have anything to target to the upside? Not in the 5 range that we have. So we've been up trending for a while, but let's up this to like, I don't know, 100 order blocks. Let's see if there's anything up there to target. And there's a few levels now, wow, that we're rejecting from quite a long time ago. But that's what we talked about yesterday. We notice, right? We notice a massive amount of selling here, right? So seeing that massive bar sell volume from this order block, in my indication, you know, this level could be exhausted of sellers. So those sellers might not be there anymore. Now, we got to wait on reaction because we're always looking for reaction. So far on the 15 minute, we've had a sell reaction to it. But I will say if we go retest this again, I bet you we break through it, and aggressively. I bet we have an aggressive breakthrough that. Now, this is only a 3% order block, right? So, you know, this level might not be as significant as it seems right now. But I think, you know, up over there, we could have a nice little move just because of the amount of sell volume that was previously here. So let me remove these drawings and go to that price action concepts, drop this back down to 5, and let me see something here and see what we would look for. I mean, trend strike 39% it's better, but it's not amazing. But what do we got here? We got a bearish break of structure, and then we have a bullish change character. So now we need everything else to line up. Money flow is coming off of a high. I don't like that. It's weak. Money flow is coming off a high. If that money flow, though, starts increasing, then we might have an opportunity. But what I would want to see is, I want to see, because of this volume that's come in today, I want to see the oscillator come reset and bounce off the 50 level. Get another bullish turning point like this. The nice part I do like is you notice all of these little guys just hanging out together here. They're having a little dot party right before it comes back down. That's what we call coiling, all right? So coiling, you can consider a coil, right? When you squeeze a coil together, a spring, what's going to happen eventually when you release that pressure? It's going to bounce. I don't want to say bounce because bouncing is more for the upside, but it's going to have a reaction. So seeing that coiling, we're already seeing a little bit of reaction coming out of this. But it would be very cool to see if we get, you know, a nice turning point to the upside here and then continue. But again, it coiling, notice here, coiled, turning point to the downside, and then it had that run and then turned back. But you did have two aggressive 15-minute candles. So again, seeing that coiling can indicate a big move coming. So here you go, coiling again, 15-minute, had that down move. Coiling happened here, it released on this guy, and then you had a nice leg down. So identifying that coiling can really help with anticipating possibly a move coming up. So let's see what happens in the NASDAQ here, you know, in the next little while. We won't be around long enough to see if it actually reacts or not. But let's take a look at a lower time frame, like the 5 minute. See where we've been. We have that 18 trend strength. I'm going to bring the oscillator down a bit. And again, sideways action, right? We have, so you notice here, it was fine, and then it started increasing here. We're finally getting that retracement. So we're still stuck in this little range though. But I do like that the the smart trail is increasing a bit. But again, everything's not lining up. This is now turning to bearish money flow. So why I'm not trading this thing. I wouldn't trade it. I mean, we have the news as well. That's preventing us from trading, but nothing's lined up here, so I'm not going to take a trade. There's no reason to. We wait until everything is ready to be traded. I was going to see here if anybody had any questions. I want to take a look over at our widget here and see kind of what's running. We had Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin. Google is having a Tesla. Let's do gainers. Okay, these are just probably penny stocks. Yeah, they're pretty cheap. Except for this guy. Yeah, $7. 48% spike today. Let's go back. Crypto gainers, Jupiter. I don't know Jupiter, but I'm sure some of you guys are trading that right now. Those altcoin crazies. The Russian currency is having a day. Maybe we could go take a look at that. Any news on Russian currency there? The U.S. dollar? I don't really look at Forex much there, Mickey. I don't know.
That's a new one for me. I'm gonna have to do my homework on that one.
This is USD to rub. That's funny. All right. Let's see. I'm assuming probably we'll just do the front. Yeah, no, okay, that's not happening. It's fun to see what's actually running in the Forex market because I don't necessarily trade Forex. No, we try the main. Yeah, see, this is why you don't trade these, and it makes sense why it says it's up 7% today. So forget that. But
take a look at the USD JPY.
You got it. Let's do it. Oh, Wanda. There we go. Nice. Okay, so first thing with identifying what indicator I want to use, right? Let's say you're a range trader. It's a good example of going to the range side of things. I'm noticing here on the 15 minute specifically, and maybe the daily. Daily's actually trending very well. So on the daily chart here, noticing the trend, I'm probably going to use signals and overlays, right? 15 minute though, if I'm a lower time frame trader, right now we're in some crazy consolidation. So what I'm going to do is probably tick off signals and overlays. Just going to take that off. I'm going to take it off the table because I don't need it. But man, what a bounce off that order block. If we would have had a bullish change of character somewhere here, this volatility from today is really throwing off that. We probably would get one if it closed over this high here. Is throw it off this move. But let's look at a lower time frame and see what we got going on. But there we go. Even the lower time frame, nice little volume.
Try this in your settings. Change your internal structure. Dial it down in the settings. I bet you'll see that micro change of structure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially on that 15 minute. But again, this is one of those things where, man, like you wanna trade these days, but this type of volatility is rough. Like it's
tough.
it's just tough, man. It's not. I promise you, even if you have a day with this type of volatility and you do really well and you make a buttload of money, it's not gonna happen all the time. It's just not. It's just there's gonna be a time where you're on the opposite end of what the asset reacts to, and it's gonna suck really bad. So it's one of those things where take with caution by all means. If you want to YOLO it, go ahead. That's up to you. But I would advise just sit on your hands, wait till after. And this is one of those things where you could have waited till after and had a great day. I'm somebody that, does trade the default settings, so I would have been bummed here, and Mickey would have been on the mountaintop without me on that trade because he adjusts his settings. But again, this is something where, man, this would have been hard for me to trade as well because of that volatility. The oscillators all over the place, and that's where I'm sitting like, okay, the calculations are going to be exact today because of that volatility. But look at like this bullish turning point flipping. I wish that money flow would have flipped here, because then going into that change of character could have driven a very nice price for a move. If we were to just go price action concepts, this is what you could have done. You could have waited, and what we like to talk about all the time is reaction, right? So if you're just trading price action concepts and you like them order blocks, wait for you to see confirm reaction, which you got several times up here, and then perfectly targeted order block down here. But again, this bounced off this order block, came back, set a lower high or a higher low, and then it ran. So seeing that could have definitely helped for a nice little trade to the upside if we were in this ranging market. Now, though, I want to go over something really cool in the signals and overlays, and that's if you are a range trader, if you like to trade these ranges, there is a feature in here that can really help you, and it's called Contrarian Trader. And if I go to signal mode, I can do Contrarian plus exits, and then the candle coloring Contrarian gradient. And what this does is it's going to have you, if you can identify the trend, right? If you identify that trend, or sorry, if you can identify if it's a trend or ranging market, then you know that, this is the feature to be using at that time. So you can notice here, we get signals printed when we get overextended areas. So here is a normal signal. More like I wouldn't take it. A very strong signal here occurred after this big pump. So like this, with the proper analysis, could have been a nice entry. Well, here you go. You have, an extended oscillator as well. And then if we had this up too, you have it rejecting this order block. So you could have taken a short on this if you are that range trader. But that's why we always say you have to understand what asset you're trading. You don't want to just blindly jump into an asset and be like, I'm trading this way today. If you don't understand it, then at least go back in time and like go through all the price action and look at, be like, okay, when this thing ranges, it ranges. It actually obeys these levels. When this thing trends, it trends. It starts, making breaker structures one after another. And I'm noticing that, it's following, if I trade the smart trail, it follows the smart trail normally. So that's what we say about knowing what asset you're trading and what features work with it. Because here, I'm noticing, okay, when the Japanese yen is ranging, then this contrarian gradient and contrarian signals here is a great one to use. I could link that possibly with the reversal zones as well, because the reversal zones can help you identify when a price is extended. So like if I don't even use price action concepts here, I could look at the reversal zones, right? This, what is the difference between this signal and this signal? Well, guess what? It's not in a reversal zone. That's where it formed on price. Yeah, the signal there is in the reversal zone, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the price point. Price isn't in the reversal zone. Here, price is in that reversal zone. So it rejected. Where did I get the reversal zone? I went to the signals and overlays indicator, hit settings, and I clicked reversal zones right here with the contrarian plus exits indicator, or sorry, feature, signal mode. I'm gonna get it eventually. It is a feature and it is a signal mode. So there you go. So seeing that there would have helped me identify whether or not this might have been worth the trade or not. You had strong bearish reversal signal, you had a tiny reversal signal here on the oscillator, but it was extended to the upside. Still bearish money flow, not as much as I would have wanted, but enough to possibly send it lower. And you got an exit right through that reversal zone, and we ended up hitting the lower reversal zone. Same thing here, it touches that reversal zone. This one wasn't as confirmed, of course, but it would have had still a nice little trade back up to that upper reversal zone. So identifying, right? Identifying the whether the market is ranging or trending can be the first major thing to understanding what features to use. And so that is just a great example of a ranging situation. I don't know. Do we have anything else ranging today to see if we can? I'm trying to remember what we were looking at earlier. I think gold was ranging. I think, right?
Gold was okay.
Yeah, it was ranging. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's change that sensitivity to 15. If we get different signals, man, the 10% looked better than the 15. But here you go again. It's like, why I'm not taking signals. Actually, you know what? I forgot. That sensitivity there. This sensitivity is for the optimal of the last 150 bars, right? So that's from this. It's calculating from here. So it's saying right now from here, put at 15 sensitivity. But let's take a look at it when it was, back in this like range here, like here. Let's see. It was still 15. Okay, so that's were we on 15? Yeah, it was still 15 that it was calculating. Let's see if it was still 15 here before it dropped. So here it was 10. So like sometimes it's based on that price. So if we go to 10 here, let's see what we get throughout this move to the downside. So here we got an extended price, right? Extended price within this reversal zone. The oscillator is not really granting us any fun here. In a ranging market, the oscillator could be worth using. It's going to probably conflict with you more than it'll benefit you in a ranging market. But the only thing I would say here is getting that turning point like that on the bearish side with a ranging market. So noticing that, let's see here if on the we didn't have any order blocks you're bouncing off of, but strong bullish contrarian signal, turning point, money flows decreasing. Here your risk to reward you should probably make lower. I would have started out something like this with it below the low. Wrong way. Let's do the long. Start out with it below this low here because we had the strong bullish contrarian signal. We were inside that reversal zone. We got a turning point on the oscillator. The only thing I normally wouldn't do, especially in a ranging market, is take it if that money flow was bearish. But notice though, money flow just peaked and now it's heading lower. So if in a ranging market, this could be considered a higher risk trade, but only ranging. I wouldn't do this in a trending market. So my target is just up here. It's almost 1.5 to 1. So it's very minimal. So like we walk through here and we get an exit already. So this would be a scalping range strategy. We get that exit and the oscillator's almost peaked out. We could have exited there. If we exited there, we're looking at a little less than 1 to 1, but obviously we can up our stop loss. But let's see if it ends up hitting, and then it does. So you got that hit there just off of identifying whether this was a range or not, right? So this being a range, nice little 1.5 to 1, which is great little trade, especially on the scalping side. Scalping side, we're not really worried about hitting 2 to 1s or anything like that. So overall, that's what I would look for if you're looking at a ranging market, is worrying about what you're seeing or flipping the settings over to that contrarian to help you, but only if you can identify that it's ranging. So let's go back though to my favorite, which is the trended features. I gotta flip this too. So yeah, been streaming for about 47 minutes here, and I think it's time for our main man Mickey to come and give us a little bit of analysis of what he's been looking at today. and I can kind of take a breather, maybe a couple waters. I've been coughing, but I appreciate you guys all hanging out and listening. I will be back at the end of Mickey's little spiel that he's going to go over with you guys, and I'll definitely chime in a little bit. But Mickey, if you are nearly ready here, we'll transfer you over. You can go over your setup of the day for sure.
Appreciate it.
Let's see here. Let me pull you up for the crew. You're ready to go, my friend.
Hey, thank you. We'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be right here. Just hang in.
All right. Any questions in the chat? Any questions before I get started on my little trick I want to show you folks today? Everyone good? Hello. Okay. The chart that we are seeing right now, I'm gonna focus on price action concepts. It's the SMC indicator by LuxAlgo, the premium versions. Okay. I have the dollar index 4 hour. I use the 4 hour as a trend bias for the day, right? So right before New York Open, we had the ECB, right? It's the FOMC rate decision type of release and the minutes after. So it really jolted the Forex market, okay? So that's the backdrop we have, and that's why the dollar's pumping today. Right now we have the 4 hour dollar index with 4 hour order blocks, okay? What I want to show you a feature in price action concepts that's often overlooked and underutilized, but it is so powerful, right? We all can agree that trend lines can be helpful, right? There's a lot of successful traders that use trend lines solely, a bear chart with trend lines, right? Whether you take the break of the trend line or you take the retest, right? The safe way is taking the retest, right? But how about instead of taking that retest, can we have a validation of taking that retest? What is that validation? That validation could be order blocks or breaker blocks to the next key level, right? So let's head into the settings here. I am going to turn on the trend lines and patterns. Okay, trend lines and patterns, and these are default values, right? These are the trend lines, liquidity trend lines. Okay. Before we end the stream, Jacob's gonna show you where you could see the documentation and the details on the write-ups on all these features. And these parallel lines are called liquidity trend lines in price action concepts, right? Just take a look at this. The break, right? Follows the trend line, it breaks, right? Here's another one. Here's another beautiful one. Follows this trend line, then it breaks. It's powerful, right? Check this out. It breaks, right? The order block has not formed yet. Let's enlarge this. The order block that has not formed yet, right? Now it forms, right? Here's a retest, right? Now it goes down. That is an awesome trade with this trend line. Now these are the patterns. These are the patterns, recognition, detection, right? Let me, little write-up right here, all right? In the documentation of LuxAlgo website, you can take a look. And I just copy and paste a little bit. Here are the patterns that this indicator will detect, right? With these patterns, you can use the upper and lower lines as resistance as well. You can use those as trend lines as well. Very powerful, okay? Now, these trend lines and patterns are optimized for this 4 hour, right? But in the past, what I did was, right? This is what I did, right? I added a little extra, right? Let's just say this liquidity trend line, it breaks, okay? typically this is what I would do too, right? Let's delete that here. Let's delete that. No need for that. Okay. Take a look at this. We're right here, right? Trend line breaks. Okay, where's my stop? What am I supposed to do? How do I know it's going to continue to be bullish? What do I do? Draw another trend line, right? Connect the dots. This is not exact. I'm just doing it as an example, right? Connect the dots here. All right. Take a look at that. After this breaks, let's just say you're taking the short, all right? Let's just say you're taking the short. Well, where is my stop loss? There's so many ways you can manage a trade. Another way is adding a micro trend line, your stop line. This is your entry line, and this is your stop line, right? When it breaks up, that's your stop, right? Kind of neat, right? And that's what I was doing all this time. I was manually drawing micro trend lines on top of price action concepts, liquidity trend lines, and the pattern detection trend lines, right? But I had a bright idea. You know how I overlaid overblocks? For those of you who don't know, you can take a look at previous LuxAlgo live streams where I discuss overlaying 4-hour order blocks on a lower time frame, right? I had an idea. Why don't we add another instance of price action concepts, only trend lines or patterns, right? This is what I did. Okay. Notice this dashboard, second dashboard, right? Here are my settings. Patterns, right? Number 2 setting. The default is 5. I'll show you. Turn this off. This pattern right here, that default is 5, right? It's the look back period, right? Well, I want to see a micro pattern. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what's going on in here, potentially, right? So I added another pattern with lower look back settings. I brought this down from 5 to 2, and I changed the colors, right? This is the color, right, of the micro pattern. What does this say? Detected pattern on the dashboard. Symmetrical triangle is a typical neutral pattern. Could break to the upside or downside, right? Well, the micro pattern. Let me turn that off. Let's see the default pattern. Same thing. Detected pattern, right? Could break to the upside or downside. I have confluence, folks. Now I have 2. While this is forming on the micro pattern, I have a liquidity trend line being formed at the same time to the upside. Everything is trending to break to the upside, right? This liquidity pattern printed before this broke to the upside. It printed somewhere in here, right? There you go. Ain't that a beautiful thing? It's kind of neat. It may not fit your strategy, but it's kind of neat. Maybe one person can use the same concept, right? Let's take a look at another popular pair, gold. All right, bear chart gold. Let me turn on the order blocks, the liquidity trend lines, and pattern detection. Okay. Default for the 4-hour. Okay, there you go. Okay. What does this pattern, wow, this is beautiful. Take a look at this liquidity trend line. This trend line like formed somewhere over here, right? Kept on riding, and then it bounced up. Then it created the order block, right? That's your out. That's your exit right here. Once this order block formed and it broke to the upside of this trend line, that's your out. right? Now we're going and going. Guess what? At this point, it formed the bullish trend line, right? Let's take a look at this pattern right here. Another wedge, right? Descending triangle. If you hover your cursor over the dashboard under the pattern, you get a little definition and a directional theory definition. In theory, it does not happen all the time, but theoretically, if you believe in patterns, this could happen, right? Anticipation of a downside breakout, right? There's no need to search in Google or flip through your notes. It's right here, done for you. You know, price action concepts makes my life easier, right? Okay. Take a look at that. Broke to the downside. But I want to see micro. I want to see a micro trend. After I took this entry, I want to see what's going on here, because I'm up against some order blocks, right? I'm up against some order blocks, and I got a bearish liquidity trend line, right? Sooner or later, this liquidity, I'm stressing, liquidity trend line is going to get filled, right? Let me explain. Look at this, in theory, okay? The reason why we call it liquidity is we have pockets of liquidity being left, right? Just like fair value gaps, imbalances, they're being left behind. Little breadcrumbs that needs to be collected sometime in the future, right? All these liquidity levels, right? And look and check this out. Price goes up, it fills, it grabs the liquidity that was left behind. And that is why it is called liquidity trend line, okay? Now let's turn on the micro moves of the patterns and see what we see down here. What's going on down here, right? I have that set up. Let's turn the main one off so we can take a look at this, right? A descending wedge, what does that mean, right? This micro pattern we have, what does that mean? Well, let's hover over the pattern detection definition. The falling wedge is a bullish reversal pattern anticipating an upside breakout. Guess what? If I took that short on the initial pattern and now this formed, it is a validating reason for me to take caution to whether I'm going to take some off the table and let something run or totally close out and be a winner for the day. All right, let's turn everything back on. Okay, let's see what we see. Let's zoom in here. Okay, what does this pattern say? The main one? Downside breakout, right? Downside breakout. It broke down. It hit this order block that was formed by this wick, right? Beautiful trade, right? You're holding. Now this micro pattern formed. It's chopping inside this order block. What is going on? I thought this was going down so I can be a millionaire, right? This pattern formed. What does this pattern say? Descending wedge, okay? What is the definition of a descending wedge? A possible upside breakout. Guess what? It's time to close it down, right? Right here. Take a look at this liquidity bearish trend line. It is breaking up, and this is an order block. I have too many validating reasons to close my trade, right? Let's zoom in a little bit, right? It broke to the upside. We have an order block here. London session's over. Lunchtime is New York is over, right? News release yesterday was huge. That's over. The Euro ECB rate decision, what is it? 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago, that is over. The week is done. Tomorrow is the weekend Friday, right? It is a very good time for me to close down my gold. So that is how I manage the trade, okay? Hopefully that makes sense for the VIP members, if you have any other questions or details, whatnot, or you may even have template questions, tag me in the VIP group. All right. I'm always willing to share. I love it. The more I share, the more I learn, right?
Oh, yeah.
The more I share, the less I trade. The less I trade, I do not overtrade. There is a reason why I love to chat, post, and help, right? You know how in school they make you write down your spelling words, right? Your vocabulary. The more times you write it down, the more times you memorize it. That is me. The more I help everyone in the VIP group, right? I'm thinking selfish. This is about me, right? The more I help and write down my rules for everyone, the more I memorize my own personal rules, right? I'm honest. Sometimes I break my rules. Sometimes I like to gamble. Sometimes I like to FOMO. I'm human being too. I do not win all the time, right? I probably lose more times than not. But with trade management, my account steadily grows.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Risk management, baby. That's the way to go about it.
So that's all I have today. Thank you, Jacob, again for allowing me to talk about this little trick I have. It's a little out of the box.
We call it Mickey tricks. That could be your segment, Mickey tricks.
Hey, yeah, with enough feedback, I may post this in the pro strategies.
There you go.
I don't know. We'll see. Right.
Well, thank you, Mickey. We appreciate it. Yeah, guys, if you want to chat with Mickey more and our community, when you do sign up, you do get access to the Discord, the VIP section. We also have a free section as well that Mickey's in and out of every once in a while, but he's mostly hanging out with the premium members in the VIP section, and that you get access to that page when you sign up for the indicator suite. And the indicator suite here is you can get 30 days risk-free right now. You get all three indicators that we've been going over all today, the price action concepts, the signals and overlays, as well as the oscillator matrix, all three right now for 30 days risk-free. Also, if this is your first time signing up, if you use code LUX30, you can get 30% off. I would advise you as well, if you're kind of on the fence about it, go to the website, click resources and that guides tab, and you can go through all the features that we have to offer in each one of our premium indicators, and you'll see here that you can look at the trend lines and the pattern detection that Mickey was just going over in the price action concepts and oscillator, and the signals and overlays. So go through all of these to really understand what you would be signing up for, and that is completely free. As well as join the Discord. You can, if you go to the bottom of the page here, you can join our community at discord.gg/lux. That will give you the free access to the Discord. When you do sign up for the 30 days risk free, you get access to the VIP and hanging out with Mickey and all of us as we're trading in there, going over trade strategies as well as possible trades for the day. And the cool thing is, speaking of strategies, there's a pro strategy section in the Discord that's strictly for VIP members that go over some of the best strategies that were developed strictly with using these indicators. So those of you asking about certain ways to use them, I would, when you sign up for that 30 days risk free, you can go and check out those strategies and see if there's any of them that fit you and your trading style. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Check out the website as well as our free library now that we have on there too. If you are looking for indicators that might not be what we gone over today, we have a massive free library of indicators. And on if you just type in library, or you click library at the top of the LuxAlgo homepage in the tab section, you can go through all these free indicators that we do offer for everybody. Some of them are offered to other platforms like MetaTrader and Thinkorswim and NinjaTrader. You just click get access here to get access to those other trading platforms. For those of you that do trade on those, that can be super helpful for some of you. Not all of them are fully transformed into those other platforms just yet, but they will be. So go check that out as well. And I think that's about it for the end of this stream. We'll see you guys next week. We're going to start to do these at least twice a week, if not more. But be prepared for a more of a show coming at you here soon to make sure we're giving you the best quality stream that you're getting on YouTube with some of these other people that you see out there. We definitely want to bring more quality to you to make sure you're getting everything you need from our streams and not just us going over like the features of the indicator. We want to give you proper analysis to help you trade better using our indicators. So hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, Mickey.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Mickey.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome. See you guys.